Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the autobiography of Malcolm X, written by Malcolm X and Alex Haley. Now, before I go into the summary and analysis of this novel, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, the autobiography of Malcolm X gives us an account of what happened during Malcolm X's life. Malcolm X didn't live a pleasant life. He lived a life that was plagued by racial injustice, racism, and everything that you could think of that could impact a black man's life in the early 20th century. As a child, Malcolm X, didn't live a good life at all. His father was killed because his views didn't align with the mainstream society. His mother was sent to a mental institution because she refused to feed her kids pork. So all of her kids, there are eight in total. They go into the foster care system, and this is very difficult because Malcolm X and all of his siblings, they all get separated. Their house even burns down because of racism and because everything was coming against them. We follow Malcolm X, and he gets established with a different family, and he goes to school and he starts to have dreams of becoming a lawyer. But his dreams of becoming a lawyer are quickly put down. He's told that you're black and there's really you don't have upward mobility. You can't make your life better, and so learn how to work with your hands. That's what he's basically told in school. So after he does that for a while, he gets a job washing dishes. And throughout the novel, he gets a number of jobs. At a certain point, he starts shining shoes. He does jobs here and there just to make ends meet. So life is very difficult for Malcolm X. He's on his own. In the novel, we do see him interact with certain different types of people. One significant individual that he interacts with is a girl by the name of Laura. She's this shy, timid black girl, which Malcolm X starts to show the world and take her out dancing. But then Malcolm breaks up with her and takes a white woman instead, and this kind of breaks Laura's world. And basically, Laura becomes a prostitute because after meeting Malcolm, her life just went down the wrong path. Before Malcolm, she was like a good student at school, trying to become something. But after Malcolm, her world was just became bleak. So Malcolm X moves on with his life, and he starts committing a lot of crimes to make more money and to make himself a comfortable life. Eventually, he gets caught and he is charged with larceny and he goes to prison for 10 years. Now, in prison, Malcolm X learns how to improve his debating skills. He learns the entire, like, he studies the entire dictionary. He learns every word from the dictionary, including aardvark. So he really studied it because I don't know what you use aardvark for unless you're talking about an aardvark. But Malcolm X studies the entire dictionary. He memorizes it. He learns how to use the words, and he also becomes a member of the Nation of Islam in prison. And so he changes himself. He changes his perspective on the world, and he starts to focusing on how he could benefit black people or unite black people within America. After he gets out of prison, he becomes a speaker, a religious leader within the Nation of Islam, and he starts to unite people. Now, his views kind of differed from the main view of Martin Luther King in the civil rights era. Martin Luther King had this protest through peace ideal concept going on, and but Malcolm X wasn't entirely with that. He wanted black people to gain equality and civil rights by any means necessary. If it had to be through peace, fine. If it had to be through violence, fine. He said by any means necessary. And this didn't sit well with everyone. Malcolm X was well respected, but at the same time, his views and his ideas were not welcomed by everyone. So in the novel, Malcolm X is doing very well in the Nation of Islam, but what happens within his autobiography to kind of ruin this is that Elijah, who is this well-known figure, that everyone follows, everyone respects. Malcolm learns that he seduced women and he had kids with a lot of women within the Nation of Islam, and this kind of ruins his view of Elijah. And they have several different conflicts, and the conflicts that Malcolm have with Elijah, they become bigger things, and the sayings and the ideas that Malcolm is spreading, they do not impress or the higher ups within the Nation of Islam, within the autobiography, and within this time period were not. They weren't backing up Malcolm's views and his ideas, and so um, a lot of people within the Nation of Islam they sought to um, kill, assassinate Malcolm. And within the novel, even though he did a lot of work, a lot of people supported him, a lot of people were with him, but some just wanted him to be dead. We see within the autobiography, Malcolm, he goes to Mecca, and Mecca is a very, very important place to Muslims. It's pretty much where everyone who is a Muslim, if you have the ability to, you're supposed to. It's pretty much required by the religion for every Muslim to go to Mecca at least once in their lives. There are some restrictions. There are some, if you can't go, if you don't have the finances to go, if you don't have the means to go, it's understood. But if you can, you have to ask for permission, and you need to go to Mecca. Malcolm goes to Mecca within the autobiography, or during his life, and he just sees a different world. In Mecca, he sees all types of people, all types of different individuals, and different people from different cultures, and he kind of sees them all as, his brothers and sisters. And so the ideas, the impact that Mecca has on him. He takes that from Mecca. He takes that from his that life experience that he has, and he comes back to America, and he starts to spread his message about how he wants life to be better for Americans, for Black Americans within the United States. He starts to spread his ideas, but the thing is, like, he still has a lot of people that don't like the things that he's saying and how he's portraying himself within the Muslim community, within the Nation of Islam. And during one of his speeches, during one of his grand presentations, he gets assassinated. He gets shot a lot, and he dies at 39 years old. Now, this is quite significant because Malcolm X dies at 39 years old, and Martin Luther King also died at 39 years old. So Malcolm X died. His life left a message of fighting for what you want. And in terms of analysis, when you look at Malcolm X's life, you got to look at how he used that saying. So from the beginning of the book, you kind of get this saying that if you want something, you need to make noise for it. That's what he learned from his childhood. He learned that by watching his siblings. They were quiet when they wanted something. They were quiet. They didn't fight for it. They didn't ask for it. If the thing that they wanted was not given to them, they did not seek for it. But Malcolm, he always made noise, and when you look throughout his life, he made a lot of noise. He made a lot of noise about the plight of Black people within America and how things needed to change by any means necessary. And we can say that it was successful through the work of Malcolm X and through the examples of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, and other civil rights leaders. We can see that in America today, Black people have civil rights. Black people can be lawyers and doctors. That was something that they couldn't do, and it's very significant because we're in the 21st century right now, and the 20th century was not that long ago. And so what they worked for, what they fought for, they won. They got what they wanted. They got that what they were seeking for. Things are not perfect. Racism still exists, but big steps forwards. Big steps forwards. And so when you look at the life of Malcolm X, he's not a saint, he's not perfect, but as a human being that saw the plight, the horrors, and the appalling nature of the society that existed when he was a child, and he wanted to change it, he wanted to do something about it. He was just one man, but he found a way to make movements, and his ideas, his thoughts about how to change America, how to make America better for Black people, they've survived. The most significant idea that I've ever seen in literature or in just philosophy in general is that you can kill a man, but you cannot kill ideas. As long as an idea can survive and more people can believe in it and spread it, that person's view, that person's dream will never die. That's why the work of Malcolm X and the life that he lived will never die, because it is a life of making noise for what you want, and that's what Malcolm X's life represent. And he made a lot of noise, and he got what he wants. So that's my summary and analysis of the autobiography of Malcolm X. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.